Hi guys, it's your girl Kiki here, and today we are gonna do the real deal. We are doing full makeup and a wig to actually get ready and go out. So I'm super excited about that. It's been a little bit since I have filmed a video, so this should be interesting. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. You can see that today I have made them pretty flat. I don't have much of an angle on this today. This is how I kind of change my tapes when I want to have a more dramatic cat eye look, because the more you pull this down, the more black you're gonna have, for my eyes anyway. Again, my eyes are very hooded, so this is how I get, extra liner on my eyes without having to, do a lot through here or up in here. So it's like an easy graphic liner. Okay, so we are gonna take our Cover Effects this is N1 Fair, and then my white Naked Urban Decay Concealer. I'm trying to work fast, but also be accurate, because this has to look good. This is, yes, it's for fun, but it's also not for fun, and I'm sure a lot of gals feel like this when they're getting ready to, actually go out and they have to actually look good, And the key is just to not put too much pressure on yourself. Especially if you're experimenting. So it is what it is, and you can't run out of time. You have to be fast. Although I'm starting way early on this since I haven't done a recording in a while. I'm trying to remember how to do it. I'm just really tired. My job takes a lot out of me, and this is my weekend, and I got kind of used to lazing around on my weekends instead of filming. But I had my wisdom teeth out, so I had to recover from that. And this is the first time I've been in makeup in a hot minute. So I'm also trying to remember how to do it and make it look right. Because if you don't use it, you lose it, right? I mean, if I'm slacking and then having to do this, it's a lot to remember. And I'm probably not going to talk as much either, because again, I'm trying to make my dots accurate. I'm not trying to be sloppy. This isn't just a little kiki with the gals. This is the real deal. So I'm going to try to make it look as clean as possible while also delivering you guys a tutorial, One of my friends, he always jokes around with me that if he had a YouTube channel, his YouTube persona would be Taryn Tutorials. And I never knew what kind of tutorials Taryn would do, but I'm sure it would be good. Okay. So this is what we have so far. I've got my white from here to here. I've got my fair from here and just a little bit here. Okay, now my booty blenders. I think this is my little black one. These are my tried and true. I love these guys. These are freaking old. They're crusted. They're busted. I can't get them anymore. I don't know where to get them, but I love them so much. So I'm just going to start on the bottom and blend this. And I mean, I figured I'd give you a fully encompassing tutorial. If you're young, or if you're how do I use a beauty blender? If you're, going into, it's never too old. You're never too old to try something new. So if you're confused on how to blend or how to wet your sponge, or yeah, all my sponges are wet. I don't use dry sponges unless I'm putting powder down with the sponge. Some people will use a dry sponge. I don't know about that, y'all. I just don't know. But I'm just really trying to work it. And you don't want to drag your sponge, just pat it in. So we're just doing little stamps, beating our face. And then as you dip into that color and blend it upward or outward or inward, you'll just stamp more. So you're just stamping more color. I'm still using that mouthwash that they gave me when I got my wisdom teeth out, and I just brushed my teeth before. Always brush your teeth before you put on makeup, guys. Just do it. Just makes you feel better. So yeah, I brushed my teeth and I use that freaking mouthwash, and it's so bitter. It's like that prescription mouthwash jazz. I don't know, it's just nasty. So I have that like aftertaste in my mouth. I have a giant zit right here too. Ugh, makes me mad. It's like getting to be that time of the month and I'm just like sad and I don't know. Y'all know. Just makes you sad, low energy, feeling like shite. And then I have to go out and be cute and act like I'm not in pain. It's fine. It's fine. I'm deciding whether or not I want to take this up more or leave it as is. I think I'm going to take my clean side. This is my dirty side. This is my clean side. I'm going to take this and just soften. And see, that's why I like these beauty blenders. They're angled. They have a lot of different angles, so you can pick up a clean angle really easily and blend instead of using your dirty angle, and then it's just going to stamp more color on. Okay, guys, I'm going to pause this and get on to the next thing because she's blended. She's looking good. Okay, guys, so I went ahead and I used this as a base. This is the About Face liquid. It's like eyeshadow, eyeliner, multi-purpose. But I'm just using that as a base for now. And then I have my brushes. So this is pretty much all I'm going to use for my eye look today. Mini flat shading brush, maybe. Oh, well, it's okay. Big, giant, fluffy guy. This is a Japanesque. These are both Japanesque brushes. They're great. So is this. This is a very, very light, fluffy, great for your final blend. This is more like a pointed shader brush. This is an old one again from Smashbox. This is an Ulta brush. It's like a mini one of these. And then my little tiny detail brush. This is actually a paintbrush. And this is usually what I do my crease with. So I'm gonna get started on my colors and I'll like meet you about halfway through. Okay, so I went ahead and laid down this color Untamed with this brush. So I load a little on the brush, pat, pat, pat it on there, load a little more, pat, 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 kind of get to this point, and then you take what's left on your brush and pat it up into here. So it kind of starts your crease. I could probably do a little bit more over here, but we'll see. We're going to keep going with it and see how it turns out. Okay, guys, so this is pretty much the finished eye look. I have my Untamed on the outer corner and crease, and then I did Sour Pop in the Kimchi Mojito palette here, right through here, right, yes. And then I took this Sour Apple color right here, put that in there, also up in here to kind of blend that out. And then I took this Banana Yellow in the, I believe this is the Mini 2 palette, Norvina Mini 2 palette. Took that and kind of put it over all this to blend it, and then also put it up in here to blend out my harsh line. As you can see, it's more blended on the outside and then it's more graphic toward the inside. That's how I like to do it, because if you look at it from a distance, it's just good. I just like it. I think it works for my eye shape. She's cute. I could probably, take it out more here. Have like a really, big dramatic kind of bam bam. But I don't think I am going to do that today. I might blend it out a little bit more. I might do a little bit more blending on these areas. We'll see. So I will be back in just a sec. Okay, so I did some blending. I kind of, finished out my edges. And then I took my two different eyeliners, these two guys. And then I did my outward wing with the Kimberly Chi one. And then my inward wing with the Tarte Sex Kitten. So just this part right there. I also took my little tiny detail brush, and just while it was wet, I just kind of did a little bit of blending on there because my eyelids are very crepey, so I don't get a nice even line. They tend to get a little bumpy, so I just go ahead and shear out that top a little bit, and then I'll put another line on top of that just to kind of blend it all together. So then when I look like this, it doesn't look like I have giant, like, black uneven bumpies. She's looking pretty cute. It's a little, dramatic, but I'm good with that. I made my wing huge today. So now it's time to take off our tapes, and let's see how they did. My cat's trying to knock over my light. Bernard, no. Okay. Ooh, she's crisp. Crispy cream donuts. Okay, and then same with this one. I don't have a mirror on this side, so I'll just look over here real quick. I tend to be a little bit careful when I'm pulling these off, because sometimes my eyeliner will get sad and like come off with it. See, like this side kind of raised up a little bit and it's got that little bump there, but I can fix that. But I am really happy with how that turned out. Okay, and this is what my tapes look like. I'm like obsessed with my dirty tapes for some reason. Okay, so now we are gonna go ahead and I will blend the bottom and then put eyeliner and eyeshadow on the bottom, and then I'll be back. Bernard, please stop chewing. She's chewing on my cords again. But I'll be back in just another second. Okay, so I went ahead and did my under eye. I took my little tiny detail brush, this guy, and my color Untamed. I did that first. So you just see how I have this little crease right here? I go right above that crease. And then to blend that out, I took my sour apple color over here, cleaned off my brush, and then dipped it in there and took it along the edge. And then when I did my Untamed color, I took it about here. And then when I did my sour apple color, I blended that up to here, closer to my inner corner. And then the sour apple is also right here for now. So that's kind of what we're working with for now. I feel like I need a little bit of white in my under eye, like on my waterline. So I have this Tarte Easy on the Eyes white clay pencil. Looks like this. And I'm just going to turn on my makeup light, blind you guys, and pop this right in here. If it wants to. Sometimes it wants to work with me, and other times it's like, nah, dog. Because what happens is it gets wet with my tears, because my waterline is sensitive, and then it doesn't want to stick down anymore. So I just have to kind of wipe it off on my towel, and then go back in with it. Let's poke yourself in the eye a little bit, for beauty. Okay. She's looking good. So you can kind of see the difference. And then I think I might clean it up just a little bit. Maybe not. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe just a little. I don't know. I feel like it needs something, but I don't know what that something is. I feel like maybe this side I have too much white showing over here, and this side it looks good. So I think I'm gonna cover that up a little bit. That's a lot of what makeup is just kind of going back and forth and just kind of assessing what you like and what you don't, you know? And we're just blending that in so it's not like as crazy noticeable. I mean, it's still semi-noticeable, but I think it looks better. Yeah, I like that. I can always fix it some more. I can take some more of my Untamed and put it in that little pocket there to kind of cover it up a little more. Just very carefully boop it into that pocket. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, just to make them look equal. It's just like a, you know, it's like a process and a labor of love, and just kind of going back and forth and looking and trying to like even it out. And then, you know, adding more where you need to add more, adding less where you need to add less. And if you don't know, you don't know, you know? You just figure it out as you go, and then you look at it later and be like, oh, I could have done, you know, X, Y, and Z. But that's how you learn. And, you know, just going back and layering and layering and layering. Because the more you layer, the longer it's going to stay. Especially if you're doing some, you know, high energy activities with your makeup on, like dancing. See, this is what I mean. I don't know, maybe y'all have better white eyeliners at home, but this one, when it sticks and it looks good, it's great, but if it doesn't, it doesn't, and it's really hard to like make it work for you, which is unfortunate. I'm pretty happy with that. But you see how much of a difference this made? Okay, so now I think I might just leave it alone and start on the rest of the face, and then, you know, add more as I need to, because I think I'm gonna do like a sparkle on the inner corner and probably a lash. I don't know, I'm supposed to wear this until like 2:30 in the morning, so I hate doing lashes and having them on for like 6 hours. It just feels weird, probably because I don't wear them enough. But I'm going to do the rest of my face and my contour, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is how we're looking right now. So we have our whole base laid. I have my blush on, which I did 2 bullet lipsticks for that today, like a nude peachy one, and then my bright ass pink one. Kind of blended them together. And then for my foundation, I did use my Lancome today. This is the lightest shade they have. It's a 95. And then I also put a little bit of my highlight down in here. And then for my contour, I just used this for now. This is the Anastasia Magic Touch Concealer in color 10. It's like a light tan color. And this is just a base for my contour, so I'm gonna go lay my heavy contour here in a minute, because this is way too orange for me. Like, that's not it for me. I'm gonna use this guy, which is a lot of my contours and some eyeshadow mixed together. It doesn't have a smell, so it's pretty stable, which is nice. And this was kind of a experiment, but it works really good, and it's a good color for me, and it's not too orange. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this down on top of this orange color, just to give myself, again, layers. Layers is the name of the game. So I'll be back in just a second, and then we'll probably, we might powder it and do the lip, or we might do some sparkle and then the lip, but I'll figure it out here in just a sec. Okay, so we have done the darker contour and I went ahead and powdered, so now we're gonna just blend in that powder and kind of brush off the excess. And then I think I'm gonna add a powder blush. Because again, the layers, sis, the layers. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch my blush up a notch, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the lip, and then I'll meet you like halfway through that. Okay, so I went ahead and added a little bit more to my blush. I did a couple of the Norvina mini palettes. I just started off with my baby pink, and then I took that in one layer. And then I took this like cantaloupe color and put that on another layer, because I like, if I'm doing a green eye, I like my blush to be more like peach orange than I do like hot pink. Just a personal preference. Typically, I mean, sometimes I'll do a hot pink or even a purple, but this is kind of what I came up with today. And then my lip, I did a little doll lip. I used I need a new one, the Urban Decay. This color is Pandemonium. So I went ahead and outlined my lip shape. And then I took my bullet lipstick in Rage, my Anastasia bullet lipstick in Rage. So like this guy. And I put that on like the inner fourth. And then I took my green, this one, which I did another tutorial on this, but I'm going to try it out for y'all and see how it goes. So this is the About Face. This is what I used as my base here. So I put that on my finger just in the middle and just dabbed it right in the middle through there. And then I took a layer, I don't let it dry down. And then I took a layer of white, this, I think it's the Morphe white, and I put that on my finger and tapped that in to lighten it up. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to set it, because I'll powder it, even though it dries down, this About Face liquid paint stuff. I was like, I better set it, just to be sure. And it feels good right now. But I was like, I feel like it needs like another dimension, because my face is like super flat right now. Like I have no sparkle, no highlight, anything, and I was getting really tired of it. So I was like, okay, let's put some sparkle on top of the lip. So I took this color in the Subculture palette. It is called Cube. It's like a white with a nice pink reflect. And I took that on my finger, pretty heavy-handed, really rubbed it in there. And then I swiped it all through my whole lip. And that's what I used to basically powder and hold my lip down. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like I might need to add like a little bit more in the corners, because I feel like my corners are going to come up here in a minute. So I'll do that. But I think it looks really cute. I'm really happy with it. It's interesting. It almost looks gold. But I think it goes well with the eye versus just doing like a full purple lip. I wanted some green in the lip. But I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to do the finishing touches on this, and I might do some sparkle, and I'll show you how to do that. So just bear with me. Okay, guys, so I went ahead and put on my green sparkle from the Anastasia Holiday Sparkle Pack. It is this one on the far side. And then I used the glitter adhesive. And if you want a tutorial on how to work with this stuff, I have one. It's in there somewhere. And so I just put my sparkles. I did some up here in the inner corner. I feel so much better with my sparkle on. It gives it that other dimension. Put some right on here on my little lippy, and then on my chin. Just, when you're in low lighting, everywhere that hits is just gonna shine. Love that. I also put on a little bit of mascara. I will put on a lash, but I'll wait until everything else is done, because I'm still gonna do my hair. And I'll put that in another video. I'll probably like link it at the end or something. And then my eyebrows, I just used this stuff. I really like this stuff for eyebrows. It works really well. Like I would get like a blue one of these and a purple one and like maybe that rose colored one, although it's not like bubblegum bam pink. But I would get a lot more of these just to do eyebrows with. Like it's so much easier. It's so opaque. It reminds me of this, like my stick, the Urban Decay like shadow stick, because it like it really sticks your eyebrows down and makes it look so opaque. Living. So all I have to do is spray my face down with some of the Urban Decay like 24/7 all-nighter setting spray. I love that stuff. It works so well. So I'll go ahead and finish up the video, do a spray, and then I'll get down to my hair, which I'm nervous about, but we're gonna see. All right, guys, thank you so much. Let me know what you didn't like or did like, and I'll see you next time.